Fountain pens and inks. Obsession? Maybe. Welcome to Urban Ink Spot. My name is Janine, and today we're going to do a currently inked for February 2025. And you'll notice here that I don't have very many pens inked. You'll notice that I have 5 pens inked today. Most of these pens coming in this month are new. So let's dive in. The first pen we want to look at is my brand new pen. This is my Pilot Custom 823. And I picked this pen up from the Philly Pen Show in January 2025. This is the Pilot Custom 823. And I have this in a medium nib. And this is inked with Franklin Christoph Philly Pen Show ink from the 2025 Philly Pen Show. I have really been enjoying this ink. It's been a really pretty color. And the pen, of course, has just been incredible. I'm so glad to have added this to my collection. I did a very short video not too long ago introducing this as my Grail pen. I've had this pen on my mind for a very long time. Really glad to have it. I introduced it late last month. I didn't actually do any, I didn't rate it at all or officially add it to the lineup. I just started using it with this pen and ink combo. So I'm really excited about giving it some ratings over the course of this month. And I also added in my Pilot Custom 74. This pen I bought for my birthday and also to celebrate a new job a few years ago. And I have loved this pen so much. I had the nib ground, a custom grind by Gina Salarino at Custom Nib Studio. And what I decided to do this month is ink this pen with the same ink that I have in my Pilot Custom 823 so that I can just compare the two of them over the course of the month of February. Now, this one started as a medium, but I had it ground by Gina Salarino at Custom Nib Studio into a journaler nib. This one is inked with Franklin Christoph Philly Pen Show ink. It has been so far really fun to compare these two pens against each other. Both of them I consider to be just really, really nice pens, and I've been enjoying using them both and comparing and contrasting them. I think it would be a little bit of an unfair comparison totally because I have a different modified nib on this one, so I am finding myself reaching for this one a little bit more, maybe just because I've recently inked it, but also maybe because I like the slight line variation of the journaler nib. This one is my TWSBI Vac 700R Mini, and I recently had this inked with a Birmingham Pen Company ink, Interstellar Bronze, and I was a little bit nervous to think about re-inking this with something different because, and I'll show a little clip of what this looked like when it was inked with the other ink. I was worried about it completely cleaning out of the pen, but it actually cleaned out really well, and I'll insert a clip of that as well. So I'm excited to fill this up with a different ink and use it. So like I said, this is my TWSBI. Oh, let me make sure it is open. It is. And I have this inked with a newer ink in my collection. I bought this a few months ago on a recent trip to Goods for the Study. And this is Jacquardin. Vert Ampere. This is a cursive italic nib, where on the reverse, it's a broad. This pen is my Pilot Elite 95S. This was originally a medium nib that I had ground by Gina Salarino into a cursive italic. And this is inked with Lennon Toolbar sesame oil. And the final pen that I have inked for this month's lineup is a re-inking of my TWSBI Diamond 580. And for those of you who have been watching my channel for a while, you will probably recognize this pairing. I ended up re-inking this pen with Colorverse Shiny Black. And this is in a medium nib. Colorverse Shiny Black. I have really, of all the other pens that I decided to not re-ink and to take out of the lineup, this one, I've just really been enjoying it so much. I really like going back to journal entries that I have written with this. And after, when I first added this into a currently inked lineup, it was really clogging the pen and feed, and I was really having difficulty with it. So I used the brass shim, cleaned it out a little bit, and since then I have not had any issues. It's really just been an absolute joy to write with, so I decided to keep it in this lineup. Now, there are a couple of other pens that I still have inked. I thought I was going to be able to get through the fill a little bit faster, but I just haven't. There's been some things going on, and I just really didn't get to get all the way through my pens as much as I would have liked to. You guys will probably recognize this from the last few months that I've had it inked. This is my Sailor Pro Gear Quasar in a fine nib, and I have it inked with a cartridge of Sailor Kasasagi. And this is mostly done. I don't intend to ink this again when this fill is completed, but I also don't want to just empty this out. So I'm going to continue to write this dry. Hopefully that will happen in the near future, but I'm keeping it to complete the fill, but I'm not actually considering it as a currently inked because there's not that much left in there. I also have a pen from Muji, the retailer, and this was inked with, oh goodness, that's not what we want to see. Whew, that would have not been good. This is mostly uninked. As you can see, the fill is almost done. This was inked with Yoseka Origin Series #1, which is a really pretty green color, but I'm almost done with this. I don't intend to re-ink this once I'm done with the fill. If you didn't see my last video where I was doing a progress report, when I first inked this pen, I wasn't really sure I was going to like it, but I had seen it in my pen collection and thought, why not give it a shot? But I was noticing how nicely it fits into this Hobonichi Weeks holder, and once I figured that out, I started using it a lot more and really been enjoying it. But again, I don't anticipate that I'm going to re-ink this once this is done. And the final pen that I also currently have inked, but I am finishing the fill. This is my Shown Design Pocket 6 in faceted brass, and I currently have this inked with Sailor Manyo Shirakashi, but this is the third pen that I have inked that I won't be re-inking that is almost done with the fill. So these three, I'm going to continue with what I have in them until I am done, but I'm not going to re-ink them. And then these are the 5 that I will be using for the month of February. So thank you so much for stopping by. And in the very near future, I am going to be doing a progress report of how these pens are going and how much I've been able to finish out these 3. I'm also going to be doing more detailed review of these 2 as I use them with the same ink. I'll probably be taking these into March as well, so I can try them with a different ink once this is done, so I can do a more intentional comparison of these 2. So thank you again for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!